a electronic voltmeter, we have discussed certain circuit for measuring the DC voltage. And in this case, we have used a field effect transistor as well as the operational amplifier. But this kind of a circuit has certain limitation. So what is the limitation and why we have to go for another type of a voltmeter, that we are first of all we will discuss, and then we will discuss about the proper type DC voltmeter. So here, if you look at this first circuit, we are using the field effect transistor as well as the BJT also, and we are using a supply voltage VCC. The same way in the operational amplifier, also we have to give a supply voltage. Now, whenever there will be a change in the supply voltage, then the Q point of the transistor will also change. Here we are going to fix the Q point of the transistor. Already you know, when we bias the transistor, then we have to fix the position of the Q point, and normally it will be in the active region. So here, due to the fluctuation in the supply, the position of the Q point is also going to change. Not only that, if there will be some variation in the temperature, then also we know that the collector current or the leakage current is also sensitive with the temperature, and as a result the position of the Q point of the transistor will also change. And due to that, whatever we have balanced initially or we have done a zero setting, it is going to be a disturb. So here if you see that first of all, that the change in supply voltage or a change in temperature is going to change the position of the Q point. And due to this, the zero setting is going to be disturbed. Zero setting, or you can say the balance is disturbed. Right? So when you apply your input voltage, then now due to the change in this Q point of a transistor, you cannot measure the accurately. Here in a field effect transistor also, the Q point is also changing with the temperature. Now when we are talking about a operational amplifier, then in operational amplifier we have a offset voltage. Then the offset current is also there. Bias current are also there. So all these parameters are very sensitive with the temperature. And not only that, offset voltage, if you have not done a offset null properly, then you cannot measure a small amount of the voltage, because the offset voltage itself is in your order of a few millivolts. And if you want to measure the voltage which is in order of a few microvolts, then only the offset voltage is in millivolt, then you cannot measure the voltage less than this millivolt accurately. So here basically this kind of a problem is known as a drift in the, this is known as a drift in a DC amplifier. Why? Because due to the change in the position of the Q point, your DC voltage is going to change, the DC current is also going to change, and that's why the output voltage of the circuit is also going to change due to the temperature, and it is known as a drift in the amplifier circuit. But now instead of a DC amplifier, if we use the AC amplifier, then whatever the drift in the circuit is there, it can be minimized. Remember, it can be minimized, so you can measure the voltage more accurately. But the question is that our input voltage is a DC voltage. Here, whatever the voltage we apply the DC. Now we require the AC, because the AC amplifier is more stable than the DC amplifier. So instead of using a DC amplifier, we have to use the AC amplifier. If you can use the AC amplifier, then the drift problem can be minimized, and we can measure the input. We can measure the very small amount of the voltage more accurately, and therefore we have to go for another type of the DC voltmeter, which is known as a chopper type DC voltmeter. Correct? So now let us see what is the basic principle of a chopper type DC voltmeter. Or first of all, we will see that how we can convert our DC voltage into AC voltage. So let us see that how to convert a DC voltage into a AC voltage. So basically in a chopper type DC voltmeter, the DC is converted into a AC voltage, then it is going to a amplifier. So here we have a AC amplifier circuit, and then again it is converted a AC to DC, and then it is given to the meter. Remember. So basically in a chopper type DC voltmeter, whatever the DC voltage you want to measure, convert it into a AC voltage, and for that here we require a chopper circuit. Remember. So after the chopper circuit, your signal is going to be converted into a AC. Then we are going to amplify, because my AC signal is or the DC voltage is a very small magnitude. Then the amplification will take place, and this amplification will be in the order of 10⁵ to 10⁶ will be there. Then the amplified signal again converted into a DC, and for that we require a demodulator circuit. Here we are using a proper modulator circuit, and in this case we have to use a chopper demodulator circuit. And then whatever the DC voltage is produced, it is given to the meter. So here if you see the basic thing, so this is the basic you can say diagram for a chopper voltmeter. The low level of the DC input voltage, this input voltage is a DC, remember. Then after the chopper modulator, it is converted into a square wave, means it is a kind of a AC signal. AC signal is there, and here we have a blocking capacitor, so the DC component will not be entered into the amplifier. Here you can use a AC amplifier of a very high gain. And then after also there is a one blocking capacitor is there. So whatever the some DC component are with this AC amplified AC signal, then it will be blocked. Here output of the AC amplifier you can see this is my amplified AC signal is there. Then it is given to a chopper demodulator. So output of the chopper demodulator we have a kind of a DC voltage, and then it is given to a low pass filter. So whatever the residual components are there, the AC components are there, it is going to be a bypass through this filter circuit, and the output of the low pass filter is given to a voltmeter or any voltmeter, so you can measure this voltage. So this is a basic diagram that how we can convert a DC into AC and then AC into DC, and we can measure the small amount of the DC voltage. Now the question is that how to convert a DC voltage into a AC voltage. So here we require a chopper circuit. Then what is the chopper circuit? We have two types of the chopper. One is known as the electromechanical chopper and another is known as the electronic chopper. So let us see what is the electromechanical chopper and then we will discuss the electronic chopper. Let us see now how we can convert a DC voltage into AC voltage using a chopper circuit. We have two types of the chopper circuit. One is known as a electromagnetic chopper and the second one is known as a electronic chopper. Now in electromagnetic chopper, we are going to use a kind of a electromagnetic switch which is known as the relay switch. So here the relay switch is used and in an electronic chopper we are using a optical device like a photodiode or you can use a LDR or we can also use a kind of a switch, kind of a transistor MOSFET. So these are working as a kind of a switch. Now if you are using a relay switch, then what will be my connection? The connection will be like this. So try to understand that what is the relay switch. Basically in the relay switch there is a kind of a coil and near to this coil the two strips are there. Say here to one of the strip my input voltage is there and another strip the output voltage you can say. So basically here we have a kind of a on-off switch. On-off switch is there and this can be make it on or off by through a coil. Now this coil is connected to a kind of a AC signal or you can say it is connected to a oscillator circuit. So basically it is a square wave generator. Because we want only a on-off action, we do not want intrinsic switch. Therefore the square wave is required. Now in a square wave, whenever the high level will come, then what will happen? Then there will be a flow of a current in a coil. And due to this current, the magnetic field is going to produce. Here, this magnetic field is going to be produced around this coil. And this strip is in the magnetic field, therefore it will come in contact with this. Here, this switch is come in contact with this. As a result, you will get the output. Means whatever the input is there, output will be there. You can say the switch is in on condition. And whenever the load level is coming, at that time the flow of the current is going to zero. Flow of the current will be zero, means there will not be a magnetic field and the switch will comes out to be in a original position. So here whatever the switch is there, this switch comes out to be in a original position. This is the off condition. So here, now you look at this. That we apply certain DC voltage. Let us say my input voltage is a 0.5 volt. Correct? So this 0.5 volt is appeared here at this point. Now, in this relay switch or this coil is connected to a oscillator. So in the oscillator, when the square wave is going to be generated, the current is going to be flow. And due to this switch is connected with this point. You can say, let us say this point is A and this point is B. Means here the voltage at this point, if you see, it is a 0.5 volt. So this is the level of a 0.5 volt. Now when this zero level is coming, then the current in the relay switch is going to zero. Means in that case, the switch is going to be open and then it will be connected to the ground. So the voltage at this point will also come out to be a zero level. Remember. Again, this is the oscillator. So continuously it is generating a square wave. Again the high level is coming. Then the switch is again connected to a point A. So at this point the voltage is going to rise to a 0.5 volt. Now whenever the load level is coming, then the switch is connected back to the ground. So this voltage comes out to be a zero. So in this way the oscillator is going to make a switch on and off, and as a result here, if you see the change in the voltage, it is going to be like this. And this is nothing but it is my AC voltage. And what is the amplitude of the AC voltage? So this is a 0.5 volt and this one is a 0 volt. So whatever my DC voltage amplitude is there, accordingly the AC voltage amplitude will be there. If my DC voltage will be 1 volt, then whatever the square wave is generated at this point, it has an amplitude of a 1 volt. Correct? And then this is given to a amplifier circuit. So if the input voltage is very small, it is in order of a few millivolt, then we require the amplifier circuit. So in this way you can convert your DC voltage into a AC voltage. So this is one of the method. But in this method, what we have kind of a disadvantage, that it is an electromagnetic switch is there. Means there will be a kind of a contact and the contact will not be there. So here the switch is going to be operated 1,000 times, 10,000 times, and during some time, means after some time, there will not be a proper contact because it is a mechanical switch. So whenever the two contacts will be there, then here sometimes what will happen? The carbon is also deposited on the contact and therefore you will not get a proper contact. So the lifespan, here the lifespan of this switch is limited. So after a 1 lakh or 2 lakh operation, you will not get a proper contact and you will not get the output voltage. So it will create some trouble in that case for the measurement of the voltage. Now instead of this mechanical switch, we can also use the electronic switch. So what is the electronic switch? Let us see. I already mentioned that the electronic switch you can make with the help of a photodiode LDR or a kind of a MOSFET, because a MOSFET can also work as a switch. Okay? So okay. Now look at this one simple circuit is there where we are using a photo device. Photo device means you can use a photodiode or a kind of a LDR also. So here the photo device is there, that it can be a LDR or it can be a photodiode. Correct? Now if you look at the circuit diagram, then the photodiode is connected in series with the resistance and it is connected with some DC voltage. Then whatever the DC voltage you want to measure. And we are taking the output voltage across the photo device. Now here on the photo device you have to incident the light. Means there will be some kind of a arrangement where you can place the light. Now what is the characteristics of the LDR? Let us say, so when there will not be no light will be there, then the resistance of the LDR is going to be very large and it will be in order of a 10 megaohm. Suppose if I am using a LDR, then with no light the resistance is going to be very high. And when we incident the light of a proper intensity, of a high intensity, then the resistance of the LDR is going to be a decrease and that can be in order of a few 100 ohms or a 10 ohms will be there. So this is the character. Here if you see the characteristics of the LDR, then the R against the intensity. So as the intensity is increasing, the resistance of the LDR is also decreasing. Now the same logic also you can apply for the photodiode. So when there will not be light on a photodiode, then the resistance offered by the photodiode is very high. And when we incident the light, then the resistance of the photodiode is going to be a very small. Now if you look at the circuit here, suppose we apply certain voltage. Let us say my input voltage is a 1 volt. Now here the light on this photo device is 0, means there is no light on the photo device. So the resistance of this photo device is going to be a very high and that will be a 10 megaohm. So ultimately what will happen? The current in this circuit is almost going to be a 0. Because due to this high resistance, the current will be in order of few microvolt, and due to that, here the output voltage will be also a very small. Now, when we incident the light, then this resistance is going to be a drop. Then this resistance is going to be a drop to a 100 ohm, and there will be a flow of the current. So due to this flow of the current, you will get some output voltage, and that output voltage will be this. Remember. Now when you switch off the lamp, then the resistance of the photodiode is going to increase. So the output voltage is also going to decrease. Correct? So this is the output voltage. Because the resistance is very high, so the output voltage will be a small. So when you make a light on and off, then the voltage across the photo device is going to be increase or decrease. So in this way you can see my input voltage is a DC, but the output voltage is a kind of a AC signal, and that is a square wave. Why it is a square wave? Because we are making the light on and off. So the output voltage will be either high or either low. So here we can also use a MOSFET or a LDR or a photodiode to convert our DC voltage into a AC signal. So this is known as a electronic chopper. Now this kind of the chopper circuit are used for a measuring the DC voltage. Now let us see what is the circuit diagram for that. Now look at this block diagram of a copper type AC voltmeter. That here we are using these photo devices. These are the photo devices. You can say it is a photodiode or a LDR. My photo device means it is a photodiode or a LDR instead. So here we have a photodiode number, let us say 1. This is 2. This one is 3. And this one is 4. So the 4 photodiodes are used. And here we have a kind of a oscillator. So it is generating a square wave like this. Means you can also have a astable multivibrator. In astable multivibrator we have the two outputs. One is known as the Q output and another is known as the Q bar output. Means the complementary output is there. Now output of this oscillator is connected to a neon lamp. So whenever the Q will be high, neon lamp means the light is going to be produced. And whenever the Q is going to be 0, there will not be any light. And this light, whatever the light is produced by the neon lamp, it is incident on this a photodiode. But here if you look at this, that this neon lamp A, you can say the neon lamp A is going to be incidental light on a LDR1 and on the LDR4. This neon lamp B, incidental light on a LDR number 2 and it is also incidental light on a LDR number 3 or the photo device 3. Okay. Now if you see from my DC voltage, whatever the DC voltage I want to measure, that DC voltage I have to apply at this point. Then here the AC voltage is going to be produced. Then to amplify this AC signal, we require the AC amplifier and the gain of this AC amplifier is 10:5 to 10:6. It is a high gain DC amplifier will be there. And then after it is given to a circuit which is known as, here remember, this part of this block diagram is known as a demodulator and this input part of this voltmeter is known as a modulator. Correct? In modulator what is going to happen? The DC voltage is converted into a AC voltage. And in a demodulated part, what will happen? The AC voltage is converted into a DC voltage. Now you try to understand that let us say we have applied some DC voltage of a 1 volt. And at that time this neon light is on and this neon light will be off. So here the light will be incident on this LDR as well as the light will be incident on this LDR. So here due to this light, the resistance of the photodiode will be a very small. So whatever my input voltage is there, the same output voltage will be produced will be of a 1 volt. Remember, this output voltage will be of a 1 volt. And at that time, here this neon lamp is off. This is in on condition. This is in off condition. Means there will not be any light on this photoconductor. So the resistance of this photo device 2 is very high. Here the resistance of this photo device is very low. Remember, is very low and this is very high. It is working at a high impedance. So as a result, the voltage produced at this point is going to be of a 1 volt. Now, due to this oscillator, what will happen? That after some time, this bulb is going to be off and this bulb is going to be on. So, when this bulb is going to be on, then this light is incident on this photo device and the light is incident on the photo device number 3. So here there is no light on the photo device 1, so this will work as a open circuit. But in a photo device 2, the light is there, so this will work as a short circuit. And this point is connected to the ground, so the output voltage, this output voltage comes out to be a zero level. This is my zero level. Correct? Then again, when this positive cycle will come, then this is going to be a on and this is going to be a off. So due to this on, this resistance of a photo device will be a very small, it will work as a short circuit. So whatever my input voltage is there, it is going to be appear at this point and the output voltage rise to a 1 volt. So here, and then when it is going to be off, then this is going to be a short circuit and the output voltage is going to be a 0. So here in this way, that at the input, my DC voltage is converted into a AC voltage. Then whatever the DC component, few DC component will be there, it will be blocked by this coupling capacitor. Here, then it is going to be amplified. You require the amplifier because you are going to measure the small amount of the voltage. Here in this example, I have considered a 1 volt. But basically, here this kind of the voltmeter is used for a microvolt and the millivolt signal. So the high gain AC amplifier is there. Then we have a blocking capacitor. So whatever the some DC component will be there, it will be blocked by this. And whatever the action we have seen at the input, the reverse action will take place in the output, and that's why it is known as a demodulator circuit. So amplified signal is going to be present here, and then after this demodulator circuit, here you will get a DC voltage. Remember, and the output capacitor, it is working as a kind of a filter. So demodulator circuit is converting my AC into DC. It is asynchronous with the modulator circuit. Remember, both are working in a opposite direction. Then if there will be some kind of a frequency component will be there, it will be bypassed through this filter circuit. Normally here the whatever the oscillator frequency is there, or you can say the topping frequency, then the topping frequency will be very small. Topping frequency is normally from a 50 to 100 Hz. You cannot have a very high frequency because we are using a photodiode or the LDR, then the response of this photodiode are slower, and therefore you have to use a topping frequency, a smaller one, that is a 50 to 100 Hz. So whatever the DC voltage is there, this DC voltage, then it is given to a kind of a meter which you can measure the voltage. So again here the DC input voltage is there. It is going to be topped by this two photodiodes 1 and 2. It is going to produce the AC signal. This AC signal is amplified by the amplifier circuit. Then here we have a demodulator circuit which converting my DC voltage, AC voltage into a DC voltage. And if there will be some residual component of the AC will be there, it will be bypassed through this a low pass filter. So here you can measure this DC voltage. Now what is the advantage? Advantage of this meter is the input impedance of the topper amplifier is in order of 10 megaohm or higher, except on very low input range. So at the here we are using a electronic devices. So the input impedance is going to be a very large, and that is more than 10 mega ohm will be there, and that is what we require for the electronics voltmeter. Input impedance will be very high. Then the drift in ordinary DC amplifier is of the order of few millivolts. That already explained in the starting of the lecture. Then what is the drift? That is due to the either change in the supply voltage or due to the change in the temperature, the output voltage is slightly increased or decreased. That is known as the drift, and it is in order of a millivolt. The full scale range of ordinary DC amplifier is limited to measuring the input signal from 1 to 100 millivolts. So due to this, you cannot measure the low voltage, which is less than 100 millivolts. And in copper modulator system, by using AC amplifier, the drift can be down by a factor of 100. So here, the drift is going to reduce by 100 times. It means you can measure the voltage which is in order of a few microvolt, 10 microvolt. So that is the advantage of using a chopper amplifier.